want to look at the Peh-Aleph root and how it functions in verbs, morphologically speaking, and that would be when there's an aleph in the pay position or in the first root letter position. But first, we can start by just reviewing very briefly the main structure of the so-called strong verb. And we'll use as our paradigm word here, shin, mem, resh, to keep. And in the case of the imperfect, we have yishmor, with the vav consecutive imperfect being vayishmor. That is, it's the perfect form with a vav, patak, and dagesh connected to the front. And so that changes the sense from he will keep to and he kept, with the vav consecutive imperfect having the narrative sense. There's two kinds of Peh-Aleph verbs. We'll start with the so-called normal Peh-Aleph verbs, the way most of them work. And in this case, we can see in the imperfect, using the root aleph samek peh, to gather, we have he will gather. And we notice that the prefix pronoun has a segol under it, and the aleph has a hatuf segol, or a segol shva under it. So when we compare this to the so-called strong verb, we can see the difference is the preference of the aleph for the segol as its vowel. And then, no surprises here, vayesof, and he gathered, it's pretty much what we would expect looking at the imperfect verb, just with the preference for the segol and the hatuf segol under the aleph. Now there's 5 special Peh-Aleph verbs that don't act normal. This is kind of a special set, and these 5 verbs are pretty common in the Hebrew scriptures, so we have to pay attention to them. They include amar, to say, ava, to be willing, achal, to eat, afa, to bake, and avad, to perish. And this is a mnemonic device. I didn't make it up, but it's an old one that can help us remember the 5 main words. I say to you, if you are not willing to eat baked goods, you will perish. And again, comparing the 5 special Peh-Aleph verbs to the strong verb, yishmor and vayishmor, we find that the 5 special Peh-Aleph verbs have a very different look, because there's a holum with the prefix pronoun, so that he will eat becomes yochal, and he said, very common, vayomer. That is, the aleph in the peh position quiesces, and the vowel lengthens to a holum. And in the case of the vav consecutive imperfect, whether we're talking about vayochal or vayomer, the accent also moves forward to the beginning of the word. So that happens in conjunction with the quiescing of the aleph. It loses its consonantal character and functions as a vowel marker, and the lengthening of the vowel. Psalm 1:6. Ki yodea Hashem derek tzadikim, v'derek yeshaim toved. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked, it will perish. Here we have a Peh-Aleph verb, and here it's used in the imperfect. And this is from the kal stem, and it's 3FS. And we can see the subject being spelled out the way. So we have just a little bit different than the strong verb, but no surprises. The quiescing of the Aleph and the lengthening of the vowel to a holum. Toved, it will perish. The reason for the lengthening of the other vowel to a tsere is because the very heavy accent here, the saluk, it's in pause. And so that has nothing to do with the fact that this is a Peh-Aleph. That would happen with another kind of imperfect verb as well.